Well, hey y'all, today we're going to fix a one pot dish, and it's in my cookbook called Old Settlers Beans. In parentheses, it says Lucy beans, and I'll tell you more about why we call it Lucy beans. This is a very, very hearty dish that is going to keep you full for a long time. Now, I'm going to put together the sauce that we're going to put in this that's going to make it delicious. So, I have 1/4 cup of packed brown sugar. I have 1/4 cup of white sugar. Now, if you do want to use sugar substitutes that are your favorite, you can. And I'm going to use 1/4 cup of ketchup. And I'm loving this Whataburger because it tastes just like my favorite Heinz, and it doesn't have high fructose corn syrup. So we're just going to add 1/4 cup of your favorite ketchup. Okay, and I'm going to use 1/4 cup of some Stubbs barbecue sauce. This does say gluten-free on the side, and I like it a whole lot. It's really pretty vinegary, and that's my favorite. I love a good dose of vinegar in my barbecue sauce. And if you like the Memphis barbecue, rendezvous barbecue sauce, you'll love this Stubbs because it tastes almost exactly like the rendezvous barbecue sauce, but this does not have any gluten in it. But use your favorite, Sweet Baby Ray's or whatever it is. You use your favorite. Okay, so now to this, I'm going to eyeball 2 tablespoons of some yellow mustard. Looks like 1. Looks like 2. And then I've got some molasses, and I'm going to eyeball 2 tablespoons of molasses. So that looks like 1. And that looks like 2. Alrighty, there we go. Now on the salt and pepper, I'll read this to you and tell you what it is, but y'all can adjust this as you want to. But it's a 1/2 teaspoon of chili pepper or cayenne pepper or whatever you like, or you can leave that out. 1 teaspoon of salt and a 1/2 teaspoon of black pepper. And I've already got those measured out for you. And in they go. And we're just gonna get this all mixed up and let it get to getting all happy with itself. Okay, there we go. Now I'm going to set some of this stuff aside and we'll get to getting on the rest of this. Okay, now let me tell you what I got going on here. I have sauteed 6 pieces of thick cut bacon. Use your favorite bacon, and because I'm a good Southern girl, I saved my essential oil of the South bacon grease in my refrigerator jar there. And I left about 2 tablespoons of the grease in the pan, and I sauteed a whole yellow onion and just got it real soft. Let me look at that. Yum. And I'm just going to put this right in my big old mixing bowl here. Now, what is in this mixing bowl, my protein for this, I defrosted in my Instapot a pound of venison. Now, you can use regular hamburger meat. If you have an affogato, you can use ground turkey, whatever you like to use. But I defrosted it, and instead of doing 15 minutes like I'm supposed to, I put it in there for 20 minutes in the Instapot, and it cooked my hamburger meat, which is fine. But if I had my raw hamburger meat, I would have cooked it after I got through with my onions here. But I'm going to put my bacon in. So I've got my onions, my meat, and my bacon in this big dish here. And then I have 1 can of light red kidney beans, drained. Now, if you have some leftover pinto beans, that would be great. If you want to cook these from dry, that would be good too. And I have 1 can of baby butter beans. This is where you need to know your crowd. If your crowd does not mind large lima beans, use those. If your crowd doesn't like this, use white navy beans or Great Northern beans. Or you can use hominy, white or yellow hominy. That does not matter. But that's it's kind of a pretty color in there too. And then I have 1 can of pork and beans, your favorite kind. Do not drain that one. I'm going to use all that good flavor that's in there. All right. Now I'm going to add my mixture that we mixed together a while ago. And I have my oven set to 350. Okay, let's just get this all mixed up here gently, because, you know, I don't want to tear those beans completely up. Reach down on the bottom and pull to the top. We don't want to tear up those beans. Now, if you like jalapenos or any kind of hot peppers, and you know your crowd that they're not going to have a conniption fit, if you put that in there, y'all. All right, now I have a 9x13 greased pan that I'm going to pour this in. You could put this, part of this, back in this skillet and cook it here. Of course, I don't want to put leftover iron skillet in my icebox over there, so I'm going to use a dish. You could put this in 2 dishes and bake one for now and take one to a buddy, or you could put the other one in the freezer. So let me get my dish and I'll be right back. Okay, got my dish here and got my tin foil to put on top of it, so we're just gonna put this off in this dish here. If I was taller, this would be a might smite better, wouldn't it? Yeah. Get her all in there. Okay, there we go. Get this all flattened down. Pat it down, kind of flat and even. Okay, there we go. So I'm gonna cover this with some tin foil and put it in a 350 oven for an hour, and then we will get back together and we'll just get us a bite. And I'll tell you why I call these Lucy beans. This was in the oven about an hour, and I brought it out, took the tin foil off, and I have let it sit here to kind of cool down a little bit. But oh boy, this is going to be good. This is one of those dishes that will just stick to your ribs like nobody's business. And if you want to add a green salad or broccoli or whatever to it, you can. And look for this waffle recipe that I've made with some gluten-free cornbread that we made together. So look out for that video. This is going to pair wonderfully with this. I'm going to let this cool a little bit. I tell you that I will put a link and everything how to get my cookbook on here for you. And I'll tell you why we call these Lucy beans. My bonus daughter's husband's mother was named Lucy, and she passed away a couple of years ago, and she was a dear, sweet woman. And we went to Missouri to their house one weekend when one of the grandsons were being baptized, and Lucy had a big to-do and served a wonderful meal, and one of the things she served was these beans. Well, I hightailed it into the kitchen and said, Lucy, I have got to have that recipe. And so she called them Old Settler beans, and I'm sure you could call it anything you wanted to. In our house, they're Lucy beans. So let's just get us a bite. Y'all, let me tell you what it tastes like. It tastes like wonderful. There's a little bit of heat from the cayenne, but not much. There's a little bit of heat from the barbecue sauce, but it's not overpowering. It just kind of lets you know there's something wonderful going on. The beans are creamy, and the venison is wonderful in it, and the bacon, it just all marries well together. Of course, now you can use hamburger meat or ground turkey or whatever you want. All right, y'all. I hear a glass of sweet tea calling my name, and we're going to sit down and eat them up, yum, yum. So I'll see you next time, and y'all go do something fun.